Hi friends, I'm Scott Giles, and every Saturday afternoon at 2:30 I shoot a short video of 5 or 10 minutes in length about some aspect of life coaching or the hypnotic arts and sciences. Hey, I am just back from the fantastic National Guild of Hypnotists Solid Gold Convention in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was a tremendous event. Great presenters. I was one of them, so of course I think they were all great presenters. But I had the opportunity to take a sit through Dan Kandel's program, and Dan is currently the marketing guru for this profession. Really an amazing guy. And one of the things he said is that I need to name these talks. I shouldn't just say, "Hey there, this is me talking." So from now on, I'm calling this Facebook Live podcast thing 2:30 Saturdays, because that's what I shoot at 2:30 on Saturdays. So welcome to 2:30 Saturdays. Today, I want to talk about how to be a positive person. Now, as I've said here before, your brain evolved to keep you safe, not to make you happy. It keeps you safe by exaggerating the negative, because that makes you cautious. And the more cautious you are, the more likely you are to survive. In your brain's chemistry, 2/3 of the chemicals your brain uses to normalize its functioning are involved with the transmission of fear. So your brain has a heavy biochemical predisposition to favor negative expectation. And you have an evolutionary heritage which encourages you to favor negative expectation. Therefore, a negative outlook is the default setting in your brain. You must do something proactive to turn the knob in the other direction. And if you're not actually doing something in particular, you will perceive the world inaccurately with an overlay of negativity. And you actually have to do something. You can't rely on it just happening. It won't. You've got millions of years of evolution guaranteeing that it won't. Now, in my case, I am a positive person. It's probably why I'm still alive. I was supposed to have been dead by 40. Now, medical advances happened. I respond well to the medications. I have a clean lifestyle. I run a scratch organic kitchen. I still work out as a martial artist. But fundamentally, I process and release negative emotions very quickly, so they don't have a long-term deleterious effect on my body. This is called positive psychology, which was pretty much invented by the psychologist Martin Seligman at the University of Pennsylvania. He called positive psychology the scientific study of optimal human functioning that aims to discover and promote the factors that allow individuals and communities to thrive. So positive psychology is that area that studies happiness, well-being, health, flourishing, flow, and those sorts of things. It doesn't study a dysfunction or disease process. The other way around, it studies what helps. Now, in positive psychology, and the trick to being a positive person is that there are 3 domains that you have to pay attention to. First, the subjective domain, being personally happy. This involves doing well-being enhancing activities such as writing a gratitude journal, being kind to others, identifying personal strengths, replaying happy memories, and trying not to replay negative memories. These improve health and resilience, and there are things you can do to enhance them. Every hypnotist knows about anchors, that is, some gesture or object that reminds you of a suggestion that you've given yourself. And I use them all the time. I've talked about my gratitude rock, which is here on my desk, a piece of rainbow obsidian with the optical illusion of a heart. Every morning I touch this, every night I touch this, and I ask myself, what am I grateful for in the day that's upcoming or the day that's finished? There was a time in my life when I was a motorcyclist and I ran with a motorcycle club. It was among the best time of my life, one of the most transformative positive and redemptive times. So even though I don't ride a motorcycle anymore because my wife has had insisted on my promising her as a precondition of getting married that I wouldn't get back on a motorcycle, I still carry a biker wallet. Uh, Bikers chain their wallets to their belt so that you don't get off your motorcycle and discover that you dropped your wallet on the road somewhere 100 miles back. This particular chain is made of bronze. It's the shape of a Nordic wolf. This is made by the same craftsperson who makes all of the jewelry for the Vikings show on the History Channel. Every morning I put that on. Every time I pull my wallet out, I remember those years in the biking club and how important they were to me. A little bit of positive reward. Be positive. Remember the positive. So, first step, subjective. Do the things that control your levers of personal happiness. And so that's gratitude, using anchors to remind yourself of positive memories, keep mindful of your personal strengths, be forgiving of your personal weaknesses, and don't spend time ruminating on negative memories. This allows you to achieve regulation of negative emotions because those things promote ill health. They damage your relationships. They deprive you of support and happiness, and even promotes self-harm and disordered behavior like disordered eating, drug use, alcohol use, and so on. Now, the second domain that you have to pay attention to, besides just personally being happy, if you want to be a really positive person, you have to pay attention to the objective domain. That is, what does it mean to you to live a good life? What are your values? For me, with 2 degrees in philosophy, I go to the categorical imperative of German philosopher Immanuel Kant. And he said that good actions, good values are those things that are, 1, permissible. It's got to be possible to do them without causing social chaos. 2, universalizable. That is, you must be capable of imagining that everyone did them and you want that. If you want to know if an action's a good action, ask yourself, well, if everyone did this, would the world be better or worse? I mean, you might think that shoplifting a candy bar is a good action because it saves you a few bucks, but if everyone did that, our economy would fall apart. So no, it's not universalizable. And then finally, what he called the kingdom of ends. And I love that, which means you never treat another human being as the means to an end. You treat them as ends in themselves. Now, what that means is, well, take the example between a company that just drives its workers unreasonably, does wage theft, there are no breaks, there's uncompensated overtime. They're being treated as a means to an end, and the end is to make profit. And so the owner of the company is simply treating the people badly to maximize profit. Treating people as ends in themselves, for a different kind of company that says, hey, our human assets are our most important assets, that we want happy workers, we want people to be glad they work for us, we're going to take good care of them, we're going to keep expectations reasonable, we're going to help them advance their careers, we're going to be family friendly. That's treating a person as a means, as an end in themselves. So first domain, subjective, your personal happiness. Second domain, objective, what does it mean to live a good life? And the third and final domain is the community value. The civic values, philanthropy, civility, something that's really having trouble right now in our current economy. We need to live in a community that we trust, that we think is basically on our side, or at least basically fair. If we live our lives thinking that everyone's trying to steal from us, we're not going to be happy and we're not going to be positive. We're going to have to be constantly on our guard. So, you can do things about all 3 of these domains. You can become a happier person personally. Gratitude journal, kind to others, dwell on positive thoughts, know your strengths, don't replay negative thoughts. Living a good life. Acting as you would wish other people would act. It's more difficult, But you'll always feel better about yourself if you're proud of your behavior instead of embarrassed by it, ashamed of it, or frightened. And finally, live in good communities and groups. Now, we can't do things about, say, national politics and stuff, but you can often fix these things. In an abusive relationship, get out of it. In a toxic work environment, go find a better job. Now, you may think you're trapped in these relationships and environments, but you're probably not. That negative expectation defeats hope. And what happens is you almost certainly have more opportunities and options available to you than your negative brain is allowing you to perceive. And by becoming a positive person, by doing something in particular to turn the knob in the other direction of your brain chemistry, you'll see those options. As Henry Ford put it, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Hey, thank you for your time and attention to me today. I will be back next Saturday at 2:30 Saturday, and I'll be talking then about something which we do in our practice here in both the bariatric section, weight control, and also the oncology section. We call it the sugar divorce, something I feel very strongly about, how to get off sugar completely. Around here, we regard refined sugar as a toxic substance. And that's what I'll be saying to you then. And then on my Patreon channel for my patrons, I'm going to go a step further, and I'm going to talk about something called the broccoli test, which I learned at Solid Gold from Erica Flint. And I think you're going to find that to be an enhancement and a lot more fun too. Thank you for your time and attention. Please like and share this video. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.